Yeah, so I'll get started just in a few seconds. Seems like not too many people on, but that's okay. I'm changing my stream time a little bit for pretty much ongoing. I'll still do 3 streams a week, but I might just move around the time a little bit. So that's my plan to do. I'll update that in the Telegram for everyone if I change it again, but I'll make sure I put the time on there so everyone knows kind of when I'm planning to do these moving forward. All right, so why don't we get started? Hopefully people will join on later on, but let's get started. We'll get started with currency pair first, and then we'll work our way to commodities, crypto, and things like that. I think there's a lot of good crypto opportunities. Cryptos are looking great, so we'll go over crypto after. But let's go over currency pair first. Let's go over Forex first, and then we'll jump into different market as we go. All right. So let's get started with dollar index as always. Let's take a look at dollar index and kind of what last week has shown us. We talk about how the price has been in this kind of a reversal structure for a really long time. Inverse head and shoulder, we have a kind of a breakout kind of confirmation. And this last bit of the price to me could just be, the news, NFP, things like that. I don't usually take into too much consideration. What it has to show me at least is the lower time frame going to have continuation and then going down, right? And that's going to confirm that the dollar strength is going to end here and then we're going to start going back down. But until I see that here, I think this is still a strong breakout. This is still impulse, correction, impulse. We break out of this larger structure. And if we get an actual deeper correction, something like this, that will confirm the bullish potential. Same correction as we see in the past. We wait for price to correct itself and looking for the next continuation. So I'm still heavily more biased on the dollar strength as I've always been mentioning. I like this breakout. This is not yet to just throw me off that this is going to drop back down. If it forms continuation here, then that would be uh, one of the confirmation to look for uh, not going to buy anymore, just wait for more development in this area and then reevaluate. But until I see that, I still see a potential dollar strength, and same thing with most of the dollar pairs as well. Okay, so I will go over dollar pair and things like that. Hey, Forex Solution, how's it going? Hey guys, nice to see you guys. Good to see some of you guys. So that's what I see on dollar index. Let's go through a few dollar pairs, especially euro dollar. Some of you guys asked me about what I think about euro dollar. Well, I didn't get in. I didn't get in on this. Someone asked me about this. That to me was not a bigger kind of a continuation correction at the time, so I wasn't really interested in this sell. I was more interested if it at the time developed into something like this. But this is what we got at the end of the week. We have this kind of a bearish continuation instead, a bullish kind of reversal. So if we can form larger correction, this is the same thing as what I go over for dollar index is I still favor this overall bearish move. We have this kind of bearish trend, simple bearish price action. We know that higher time frame, this structure could be over, the higher time frame reversal, lower time frame ascending channel, bearish breakout, continuation, bearish breakout again. So if we get continuation here, I certainly would be looking for potential sell. I think a sell here is very good, very high probability, good value setup. Even just to the lows here, I think this is a very good risk reward down to the lows. So that's what I want to see if it develop into something like this. If it just continue going up or whatever, then obviously no trade. I'm just going to move on and see other potential opportunity. But this is kind of what I want to see. This is what I expect to see uh, to give us a confirmation correction, right? We've seen these over and over again. So it's all about being patient here, waiting for something that you have seen in the past, that you have back tested in the past, and those are going to shape out for you and better entry, in my opinion. Okay, so euro dollar for me. I do think this is one of the good dollar pairs to get into if we get, that last bit of confirmation here on the price. Okay, Any question, guys? Let me know. I'm just gonna continue. So a couple other dollar pairs. Let's take a look at sorry, not the dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, I still see this as a potential opportunity. We have this overall kind of a descending structure. We know that we have been pushing down all this already, all this kind of price action. There's obviously clear corrections in the way that we see from price, but same thing as here. It's just that this move still looks very impulsively. We can still see this as is the impulse breaking out of this structure here and continuation developing. This can go on a little bit longer, right? We talk about continuation correction. We don't know how long and how deep they can go. They can certainly go on for a little bit longer and then still continue. Okay, so we have to see how the price is reacting. Right now, looks like it's just consolidating. I would wait for a correction finish here and look for potential upside. Okay, so dollar CAD certainly is a preferred one to wait for. I think it could be ready, but just this last bit of the price, I think it's rather important to wait for a little bit more development, a little bit more confirmation. Moving on to dollar Swiss, so very similar like a couple of the dollar pair we just went over. Good morning, by the way. Good morning. Dollar Swiss, I think this is great. This is similar like dollar index, which is a lot faster. You can remember I talk about in the past streams that some dollar pairs are just faster, some are slower. This case is looking very similar like dollar index. We have this inverse head and shoulder, impulse correction, impulse. We break out of this reversal structure. And looks like if we can get a continuation here, this is still a sharp impulse up, right? This is still a move that I was looking for when I talk about this breakout. So I think a continuation here, whatever it's going to form, is going to give us that potential buy to the next top. So I do think this is still can happen. It's just kind of waiting for how long and how deep this correction will go if it forms. Right, as I always mention, if it does not, if it forms continuation, something like this, then obviously we don't jump into trade. That's why we wait for confirmation. Even though we have a bias for a potential buy, we're not just going to blindly jump in here with a bullish candle, a bullish reversal. Right, this is what I talk about in my Telegram group. I mentioned candlestick formation is great for added confluence, but if the overall price doesn't show you that continuation, then it's best to stay out of the trade. Okay, so same idea here, right? Waiting for price to develop is better than just focus on one candlestick and looking for long. We know this long could happen, a very good probability, but to just going long here, in my opinion, is not as confirmed as waiting for a structure to form, waiting for continuation price action after this bullish price, right? And we know that that's how price tends to move. It's after impulsive phase correctional period, another impulsive phase. That's going to help you to look for a better entry in these kind of examples. Morning, Leslie. Nice to see you. So let's continue. Dollar yen. Dollar yen is a pair that I'm in. Still in, looking for further upside. No, I'm not part of any community, by the way. So let's continue with dollar yen. Higher time frame. I've been talking about this. This is in my weekly trade recap video. So you can take a look at this trade. But I'll quickly go over here is that we know that this is the higher time frame structure. This is clearly a strong bullish impulse. This is a larger continuation correction. This latest bit of the price is kind of a descending structure, descending channel. So a very clear kind of a correctional reversal. And we could just be seeing just a small structure within a larger structure, which is great added confluence. Going down to lower time frame, talk about the inverse head and shoulder, very clear price action. This is a straight impulsive phrase followed by a correction here, and then we break out, right? So one of my preferred entry in this sample, correction after breakout, looking for a lower time frame correction once we break out of the higher time frame structure. And looking good, we enter with a stop order here, and price pushes up now. So what I see here is there's several correction in the middle that we have seen already to push up the price. So this is clearly in the bullish phrase. And if this is going to be some sort of correction here, expect this move to continue. Right, can be a bullish continuation. Right, this last bit of the price from NFP from the news doesn't faze me in my opinion. Some ask me about kind of what I see on this. Again, right, this is my plan. So follow your plan, right? Don't let others to deviate you. Okay, you always should have a plan when you enter a trade, how you manage a trade, and what happens if the price does certain thing. So my management plan was always simple: enter the trade. When trade goes up, set stop loss to break even, and then a little bit of profit and see how the price will develop. To me, on the higher time frame still screams bullish. It's just whether if we're going to form a deeper correction to go or just small correction, we're still continue going up. That's something we cannot predict, but what we can predict is the next bullish impulsive phrase that's likely to happen in the market. And because we break out this reversal structure here and clear price action here to push up, I still think there's a very good chance that we're just going to be in this higher time frame impulsive phrase. We're just going to move up very, very fast. And these lower time frame correction is just all we need to continue to push the price higher. And my approach is the same when it comes to breaking the top. If we see price does break the previous high, which is great, look for scale in opportunity. I would be looking for scale in if we break the previous high. If there's more continuation for the next push up to the higher time frame highs, certainly looking for a scale in and then secure profit on the first trade is always my plan to do so. Okay, so that is dollar yen. That is my approach on that. Any question, guys? Let me know. I'll go over Doge after. I'll go over all the currency first. I'll go over crypto later though, if you don't mind. But that's what I plan to do. There's a lot more crypto I can talk about, so I'm leaving that till later. Yes, I can go over pound yen. Good morning, Matt. Good morning. So let's continue. That was dollar yen. Let's talk about dollar Singapore dollar. You can rewatch the stream later, my friend. If it's too late for you, the stream will be on forever on Trading View and YouTube, so you can watch it on there. But I don't see much on Doge, to be honest, not to get in at the moment. So you're not gonna miss much. But I will go over it in the stream later on. So let's talk about dollar Singapore dollar here. Same kind of approach like most of the dollar pair that I talk about. I think this is quite interesting because we managed to break out of this kind of descending channel now, right? And this move up, however, is not as impulsive as I would imagine. It's not like impulsive like these ones I'm pointing out, which is going to give a little bit better confluence, in my opinion. Rather, this looks up, move up rather correctively, in my opinion. So I still see this could be a move to break out. I still see this overall move to the downside needs a bigger correction or at least a bigger pullback, so to speak. And all these previous price that has moved down, given past this previous low, and the way how price break the previous lows in this kind of a corrective portion. That's why it leads me believe a bullish impulsive phrase to reverse is more likely. Right, that's why my bias is still looking for that potential bullish push and most of the dollars. Yeah, I will go over pound yen, guys. Don't, so that will be one of my want to go over. I appreciate that, buddy, saying I've watched all my video on YouTube and you're the man. I'm new and logging all my trades. Yeah, you should, journal down your trades thoroughly. Let's go through a couple other ones. Let's go to CAD yen. If you guys have any currency pair, by the way, guys, you can throw it on here. I'll take a look. If you guys have any currency pairs you want me to take over or take a look, sorry. Let's look at CAD yen. I think CAD yen's interesting. I know we talk about this. Remember, I talk about expanding structure is a little bit tricky. It's not as confirmed as something that we can see from an ascending channel that we know it's usually a reversal. So expanding structure in sometimes you see, in sometimes you see price kind of just push to the upside, right? This becomes an impulse, correction impulse, or a expanding structure becomes a, sorry, I keep pressing the back button. Expanding structure becomes a reversal. Okay, so these are two options, in my opinion, when it comes to expanding structure. So that's why we don't need to rush this. It's what we see here at this last bit of the price is it's moving up somewhat corrective in ascending channel. Remember, breaking the trend line, whatever, doesn't automatically means it's a buy now. It's what the price react at this last bit of the movement. If we go lower time frame, we know that this is the expanding structure. We kind of push it to the upside. But is this upside more as a ascending structure rather than something that's an impulsive? It's a little bit hard to tell in my opinion. I don't see a clear yet. I still have a bias for the sell. Obviously, we talk about this on a higher time frame. We know that this can very well just be a period of long consolidation before it reverse down. We know the higher time frame looks bearish more, in my opinion, with this is the structure that is contained within. So that's why waiting for the confirmation is key. We talk about not shorting here when there's no confirmation. It's waiting for a short when we have a strong breakout because this can just continue going up indefinitely where it just turns into a bullish push. Then you're just getting trapped in this kind of phrase. So wait for a strong breakout, wait for correction is always the first move to do. Okay, so that's going to confirm that this is the ascending channel to push down and that we could be finishing this larger expanding structure to move to the downside. And if we zoom out here, we see that there is so much room to complete this higher time frame structure if all that work out for the lower time frame. But waiting for the right setup is key, right? Patience is key here. Uh, Remember, there's no right and wrong. If you short here, of course, if this is going to be the move that goes down, you're going to be great reward. But also understand that you're entering when the market is still consolidating. So you're entering in a consolidation phase, and sometimes price is not finished consolidating. You get tagged in, you get tagged out, so you lose a couple trade like that before the next move down. Okay, so that's where you get into unnecessary emotional trouble, in my opinion. So it's fine missing some profit here if you get in on the lower short, but you're still going to get profit no matter what. All right, so Kiwi CAD I will go over. Yes. Euro dollar. I went over euro dollar. I'll go over that after as well. Pound dollar. So euro dollar, we talk about this is what I see. We know that price is breaking out of this higher time frame structure now. So this gives me a good favor for a potential dollar sell. We know that price has already moved down very clear bearish kind of price action, right? Ascending channel, bearish impulse, correction, bearish impulse. Uh, this last bit of the price, if it form a bigger correction here, something like this or something like this, it shows you that that's going to be the continuation price action to the downside. So this pullback here, to me, it doesn't phase me, if that makes sense, is that we already moved down this much. It's naturally for price to have a sharp pullback, but in still a some sort of correctional phase, because you have to understand where the price is. We move up collectively in this still larger kind of a channel structure, and this last bit of the price clearly shows bearish move. So if it forms a continuation correction here, certainly looking for the next sell, at least to the next low. Certainly lots of risk reward in this kind of entries. Okay, so pound dollar again is not on my watch list. Um, I got so many of you guys message me on pound dollar, and especially this last bid, some of you guys got into these sells or something, and then just get pretty much stop out for that. And so I got these message asking me why is that and how come and how to deal with it. And the simplest way is every time when I talk about pound dollar, and I say this last bit of the price is just it's too erratic. There's no point trading through it. You're kind of just guessing and hoping the next sell will go. We all know we're looking for a sell. I think most of traders will be looking for a sell after seeing this consolidation period. This is clearly a larger kind of ascending channel structure. It's clearly we're in a consolidation phase, right? We're not in any impulsive phase that we've seen from the market. right? We're not, right? We're clearly in a consolidation phase. So remember, my go-to things I always say is I don't want to trade when we're in a consolidation phase. I want to trade when we're in the impulsive phase, because we know correction can go out indefinitely. Trading here is just getting stuck in a consolidation. Sure, if you go down to 5 minutes, there may be some sales or whatever, right? Lower time frame, you're always going to find sell setups. But the higher time frame is telling you that this is going to go on indefinitely for a while, and when to call the next sell is going to be the one. It's very hard, right? So my approach is the same. I don't care what the price does in this area, as long as I see a clear breakout followed by correction, then I'll get involved in something like this. Other than that, I'm just happy for the trade to do whatever it wants to do. Even if it makes a lot of profit going down, I don't really mind, but I confirm with this breakout. That's the first confirmation. Second confirmation, lower time frame continuation, then look for the sell down to the next low. That is always my approach, my plan from the beginning all along. I don't deviate from that. This is how I save capital and not trade in this consolidation. It's pretty much the same with most of these pound trades that other guys got in. I got this message telling showing that it take too many pound dollar trade or pound pair trades. And that's why to me it doesn't matter if you enter earlier or later, but you're getting involved too many of these, and you're just stuck in this consolidation phase. It's not helping you to grow, right? It's not helping your account. You might take some good trade setups, but then it ends up getting eaten by the mediocre trades that you take in this area, and you lose money. And then at the end of the week or at the end of the month, your good trade profit is eaten up by these mediocre trades. All right, so that is my honest advice to that regarding pound dollar, regarding most of the pound pairs, to be honest. Just wait for a clear breakout. You don't need to get involved in something like this. There's so many opportunities everywhere, different market. Look for other things, right? There's clear setups to take rather than what it's doing right now. All right, so that is pound dollar. Let me see what you guys are saying. I will go over gold, by the way, Damien. I'll go over gold after currency. So can I show the names of the stock? This is not stock, by the way. Pound dollar. This is currency. Okay, this is currency pair. So let's go to pound yen. So someone asked about pound yen. Similar idea, right? We talk about this as well. Remember when price was moving this up last week? I mentioned it's if it forms continuation correction, it's likely to go. This is exactly pretty much what happened, and that's why trying to short here again to me was unnecessary, right? I got this screenshot of others as well. They're trying to short here, and when I say, well, there's no really continuation, there's no, there's no bearish move yet. It looks like it's just consolidating. And if you only see this last bit of the price, this is still an impulsive phrase. We could form correction and we go, which is what happened this time. Okay, so be careful on this. You don't need to call the top, right? We don't need to call the top. If this is going to be a reversal point for the structure at the time, then this is going to break down followed by more continuation. And waiting for this structure to finish is so much more important than entering at here when there is probably some bearish candle. I'm sure you can find bearish candle somewhere. This is a bearish engulfing here, right? High test followed by bearish engulfing. Sure, there's always going to be these kind of candles, but that's why I say price action, how the market move is more relevant. It's better because we see this bullish push to the upside and it forms continuation. Doesn't matter if you form some high test candles or bearish candles, but the overall price still shows bullish, then there's no point entering the sell. All right, so I don't see any opportunity in my opinion. I don't see the buy or sell at this more. What I want to see is what price would do when we hit this previous high, which is it's about to approach. And if it just breaks impulsively to the high, then obviously nothing I'm looking for. It's just looking for the next swing high. But that's about it. But this is the area that I would be looking out for because you can see there was a previous double top here before the price drop. So this was a larger structure it made to drop the price. So same thing can look for a top here, right? This is still a lot of price to recover from. We see this double top if this price here forms some sort of reversal kind of price action, right? We talk about a double top. We were just talking about this in our Telegram, in my ebook book today. Yes, on the higher time frame, there potentially could be a double top, right? Potentially. But this is why going to the lower time frame, look for clarity, look for confirmation is key. Is that if this is just a bullish move to the upside and just goes up, doesn't matter if I see bearish candle on the daily, on any time frame. I'm not just going to sell from this position. It just doesn't make sense after the price already move up high, continuation, and this can just breaks up higher. So a little bit of the candle stalling here is not going to make me sell this position. It's more as how the price react in this last bit. It doesn't matter if it breaks above this line or not. It's about this area where the price is at. What is it going to do? Is it going to form more ascending structure, more reversal? It's not in bullish trend anymore. Then I'll keep an eye on seeing when will this bearish reversal finish and we get the next downside. Or is it just going to break above and then form more continuation correction and pushes the price up? Then obviously there's no sell opportunity. I'm not looking for the buy. I think the buy is limited, right? We're not moving up impulsively enough on the higher time frame. On the lower, on the higher time frame, it still shows a lot of bearish kind of price action. We can just be seeing a correctional phrase before the next downside. All right, so that's what I see on pound yen. Still don't see much at this moment. Okay, so I'm not looking for a sell at any time, but I will keep an eye on what the price does in this area, this last bit of area. So. I already went over pound dollar, bro. I'm not interested in pound dollar. So, like I said, I'm not interested when prices in this consolidation. I'm looking for a strong bearish breakout followed by continuation. I know this is a correctional phrase, so I'm not looking to enter any of these. Gold, I'll go over after. So, Kiwi CAD. Let's talk about Kiwi CAD here. I certainly do like Kiwi CAD price action overall on the higher time frame. Um, this last bit of the price is clearly showing a head and shoulder pattern, right? And this is corrective kind of price action. We know that there's a few sell positions that I personally took on these, and this can potentially could be the third sell. This cannot be that right shoulder here, and on the higher time frame, how the price move up there. We're still in this kind of a rising wedge pattern, and we're not really moving up here. Even though this is an impulsive phrase after a continuation, but the difference is this is a more developed kind of reversal price, right? This is not in a continuation phrase to go up higher. This is stalling. This looks like it's having lower highs. It's forming a head and shoulder, and that's why it gives me a potential sell kind of bias, looking for a break out from this rising wedge and then continue lower. All right, so what I want to wait for here, nothing, it's not really developed. This latest bit of price also is not helping the fact that we're looking for a potential sell. I think this is a strong bullish breakout, right? And if this is going to be some sort of continuation, I don't know what it's going to do. This is going to continue going up. As long as, in my opinion, prices still remain in somewhat this area, still in this right shoulder formation, I can still looking for a short bias and break down and at least break to the previous low. This is what the price has been kind of reacting in this area, right? So these sales are not going further than this point, but if this is going to be the right shoulder for this head and shoulder, I do see a strong potential to the downside, breaking the lows and continue lower. All right, so that is what I see on KiwiCat. Any question on these guys? So yeah, no question, guys. No question. Then I will jump into commodities. Okay, so Not into Forex at the moment, but great analysis. Well, I use the analysis. It's on any market, my friend. You can trade any market, which I'm gonna go through different markets now. It's the same approach. Nothing changes, in my opinion. So let's talk about silver. Let's talk about silver. If those question, no question, guys. So silver. Let's talk about. I talk about this on the higher time frame. I still reasonably see a higher time frame potential. So from a top-down approach, higher time frame wise, I still see this potentially is going to be very bullish in time. We see this price overall, it's been a big scoop formation. We have price couldn't get lower than this point, and we talk about the production of silver in my in this sorry in this analysis. I explained this. So if you have a chance, you can watch, you can read this. What I'm trying to say is I don't see the production going lower because inflation and the cost of making silver is the same as we couldn't break this low before the price just eventually bullish push up. And seeing all this scoop kind of formation from the price, to me it screams more bullish. So we had this reversal structure, we pushed the upside, correction, we pushed the upside again. If we didn't have this COVID time, this looks like was a continuation to take off, which is still take off after this bearish push to the downside. It just couldn't break any lower because, again, cost of silver. So we have this bullish to the upside and waiting for a continuation. So higher time frame wise, I definitely see more upside. But lower time frame right now, it's not showing me bullish, and that's why I'm not really planning to trade silver because my higher time frame bias is that potential buy. Okay, so what I see here on the short side is if this is going to be a double top here, and then we have a push down, bearish push down, followed by a continuation, then continuation correction short time, I can see this bearish push to the downside. I think that's pretty good for short term, but I'm not really interested. Like I said, I wouldn't wait for a price to do that and then form some sort of reversal price here and look for a buy because my higher time frame bias is still that potential bullish push to the upside after this continuation finish. Okay, so that's what I see on silver. Sponsored by McDonald's? No, I'm not. That's funny. I'll put it a little bit further, hopefully. So let's go over gold. So gold's the same idea, right? Talk about this on the higher time frame. My higher time frame approach is the buy, right? We know that this is a clear bullish impulse, clear bullish correction. Looking for a buy here is ideal. This is just a clear higher time frame continuation. It's a continuation flag structure. It's not yet finished, but as it correct deeper and longer, it's just going to give us more confluence that this is just a strong bullish push to the upside. This is just a continuation correctional phrase. Look for the next buy. All right, so lower time frame wise, I've been talking about this sell. I think some of you guys may go in this sell, so good for you. Uh, from the top here, I mentioned when we had the structure like this, when it breaks out, if there's no continuation, expect a reversal because this is a bearish ascending structure and a reversal structure. We see this bearish impulse down to the downside and continuation correction. There's a head and shoulder here as well. So this can continue lower. We break to the downside. Again, same thing as euro dollar. Wait for a little correction, and then that's going to push the price even lower. But personally, not interested in the sell. It's the same approach as silver. I'm looking for long-term approach. And when I trade, when I look for multi-time frame analysis, if the higher time frame to me is potential bullish bias, the lower time frame on these potential short-term sell is not really my taste for the sell. I want both higher time frame and lower time frame going to give me the same bias. That's always how I confirm my trades. So if this drops, which I wanted to drop, and then look for a potential reversal from the bottom, is going to be my plan to get in on this buy. Okay, so that is gold here. Any question on this? I'll talk about Doge after, guys. You guys are talking about Doge. Everyone's famous. Everyone is talking about Doge. I'll talk about crypto after I finish all this, guys. So euro dollar. I went over euro dollar. I'll go over euro dollar quickly because it's still pretty important. I like going over the main ones that I see. So euro dollar, again, waiting for a bearish confirmation. If we zoom out here, higher time frame structure potentially finish. Lower time frame is clearly bearish price action, right? There's few sales positions available. Some of you guys got in. I saw one of you guys got in on a lot of these scale-in trades, right? So good job on your part. Personally, I'm waiting for what happens here. Is it going to form a continuation? This is pretty much the key now. I prefer a deeper structure here after all this bearish kind of price action. That's why I wasn't interested in selling from here. I prefer a larger structure here now. I think this is going to be the next continuation of the bearish move, and I want a solid continuation correction to get in on the sell. I see the lots of reward in this sense. I think this is pretty good. Even if a large stop loss, like even if you have a large stop loss, something like this, even to the lows, you still can get like about 3%, right? If you get in on better sells, if you're getting on better entries, whatever you trade, however you trade, I still see this move is very likely to happen. Okay, so that's euro dollar for you guys. Yeah, nice. You can rewatch that in the future, Damien. You can rewatch the streams on TradingView and YouTube, my YouTube channel. I upload everything on those, so you just make sure you subscribe my TradingView or subscribe on my YouTube. That's where I upload all my videos. All right. So we finished talking about gold. So why don't we start on crypto? So let's talk about. I'm gonna go in order. So let's talk about Cardano. I'm in Cardano, so this is a trade I'm in. I talk about this again in the weekly trade recap. I was waiting for this continuation to finish. I want to wait for at least price to break this previous high. This is really important because we're approaching that high. I didn't want to trade through all that price. What I want to see is price actually just have a breakout to the upside. So we had this continuation, we break to the upside, and this is that continuation correction I was kind of waiting for forecasted to have. So this works out in my favor. Set an entry order here, very clean, just above this high, right? And then set the stop loss below. So another one of my entries I talk about, correction after breakout, right? Correction after the higher time frame breakout. So very clean, easy trade. Just looking to hold this, see what price will do. It was looking like it was trying to form a head and shoulder pattern here. Not anymore, to my opinion. I feel like this is going to just take off more, and we're just going to continue higher. So we'll see what happens. I already moved my stop loss to break even. And I'm gonna move up by one or something like that later. So we'll see how this price move. We'll see how this price will behave. This move is still pretty sharp. I think this is very sharp compared to what we have seen in the past, right? This is a sharp move, and then we follow by a deeper consolidation. This is a pretty sharp move as well. So expect a deeper correction here before the continuation, in my opinion. So that's Cardano. I think it's running about 3 point something percent, 3 to 1 or so. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin in this trade as well. We talk about Bitcoin for a very long time, right? Still holding it, and this is kind of exactly what I want to see is some sort of continuation. We talk about when price begin to form this larger structure, be ideal to look for some sort of continuation that's going to give us strong bullish breakout. So all this small correction that we're seeing is very good for the price. So my my approach is the same, right? My approach is the same. I want to see price break this all-time high. This is pretty much the key now. If it does, which I do see a good percentage of time, we will see that. Look for further continuation. That's going to be my scaling position for further upside. It just looks very bullish that continuation is inevitable. I talk about this since price start forming this larger continuation flag. It's the same as gold that we just went over, right? We talk about what the higher time frame is doing. This is just a massive bullish impulse, right? We have all these buys in the way, and then it's naturally for price to form a larger structure after you see the strong bullish move. It's just natural to do that. But understanding so much momentum is behind you after this bullish push, you want to look for a continuation. You want to be able to look to hold, because for me, for crypto is more as an investment, more as a hold rather than day trading it, rather than trading them like currency pairs, whatnot, because I can invest in the coins. I know what I'm doing in terms of how the charts are doing. I'm fine with holding these positions for long term because it's going to reward you for the time being. Okay, so that is Bitcoin. So looking for that breakout, looking for that uh, clear breaking above all-time high, and look for more continuation. I think that's pretty simple. Now we're in the strong bullish trend now, right? This move right here can be the next bullish move on the higher time frame, right? We have all this period of consolidation, right? This is how the market kind of punish a lot of impatient trader. When price keep pushing up like that, they're getting fear of missing out, right? And then boom, in a couple hours, when the drop takes out a lot of people, and then forms into this deeper consolidation, and then eventually take off. So always remember, guys, have a plan, have a management plan, risk management, and have plan how to manage the trade, when to exit the trade, and don't exit based on emotion. When you exit based on emotion and the trade works out later on, you're just going to be so much emotional drama. And the next time when something like that happened again, you won't follow your plan anymore. You're just going to make decision based on emotion, and it's not going to help you in trading, guys. It's not going to help you. You need to have a plan in place and stick to it. You can change and modify your plan, but you should always have a plan in place when you enter a trade, how to manage a trade, how to exit a trade, etc. Okay? So let's talk about Doge. Seems like this is what everybody is on. This is all because of all these lately social media or a lot of stuff. But let's go over from a technical perspective. I don't have too much data here, but the whole point we should be looking at here is how the price has behaved. All this period consolidation leads into the strong bullish impulse, right? And then after the period decline, what does market usually do? Bigger consolidation, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So what do I see by that? You would break all-time high, which is great. And what do you look for? Continuation, right? Continuation, correction to continue. That is all you have to see. If you look at the price solely from what has happened, strong breakout to the upside and a period decline, and then resume the impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. That is how the price move in this kind of scoop formation. We talk about this in pretty much every pair, every market. We see the same thing. So same idea here, guys. Right? You see all these correction. They're not. It doesn't matter which market you're looking at. It's the same idea, right? All right. So that is my take on this. All right. So I don't think it's ready yet. I think this is a sharp decline from the price. If you look at the lower time frame, it's a still sharp decline. So I would still say wait for some sort of continuation. Wait for some sort of continuation of structure, continuation of trades. Look for the next buy, right? I think most of you guys are going to be looking for a buy. So if your bias is on the buy, then look for the buy confirmation, right? So moving on to Ethereum. I think Ethereum is also on a lot of people's watches. Certainly on my watch as well. I'm looking for a buy, of course. If we look at this from a higher time frame perspective, again, is this not the same price we just talked about? We had an initial incline and then period decline, and then eventually price just push up. Once it breaks all-time high, expect some sort of continuation. This is kind of what I'm expecting the price to do and continue off, right? It's just some crypto are going to be faster, like Bitcoin as example. Once you break that previous all-time high, once the price already recover all the price, and it will just going to fall on going to the bullish trend. So it's the same idea here on most of the crypto. I kind of go over this every week or every session, is that look for the same kind of price action, right? We backtest these, we understand how the price move. So my approach is the same. Is this going to form a continuation correction? If it will, certainly I'm going to jump in on this buy. It was already showing that a little bit. If you see this point, if you see this price here, certainly looks like it was going to up. We can just be forming a larger structure, right? And then still take off. And this doesn't phase me at all. We've seen similar price. We already see even as strong bullish price as this when we look at this last bit of the price. If you guys recall when you guys asked me about Ethereum, I mentioned this was the buy setup, and if you missed that, then there's not much buy anymore. And this latest bit of price, ascending channel trying to push down, and then forms into another ascending channel and trying to push down from this all-time high, right? This is the all-time high. And see what the price does is that it doesn't even hit the low, and then instead we have a reversal impulse followed by a bullish continuation. So after a bearish structure and a bearish impulse, price quickly recover into a bullish impulse, bullish continuation. So all this price screams bullish, right? We have this kind of pennant structure, break to the upside, look for continuation. It's going to take off, right? So wait for this solid continuation to form. Look for the next buy. All right, so Ethereum to me, very clear, very likely to continue. Just wait to see what happens in this part here. Okay, moving on. I think someone asked me about this GRT. I will slightly go over this. Same idea was this bullish impulse. You have a period of descending channel, so a period correctional phrase. Bullish impulse to the upside, a pennant continuation structure. We continue to upside. Great, and we break this all-time high now. So same idea here is waiting for what the price will do. This is not yet complete. This looks like it forming to deeper structure. So wait for that to happen. All right. Jumping to other coins here. Litecoin is also one I'm planning to get in as well. I think this is looking very clean. So all this previous price, this is where it's important now, is all this bullish price falls into this larger correctional period, and the inverse head and shoulder pattern here push the price up. A continuation correction here, right? This is what I'm always talking about, continuation correction. Whatever it's going to do, it's going to give you that strength, give you that confirmation to break the previous high. And there is the high that we talk about when the price couldn't break it above. But if you zoom out a little bit, you see that this can be that continuation correction from all this bullish price, corrects, and we break above. So same approach here. I like this area. I like how we have the price has been much higher than before. So certainly looking for continuation would be very ideal in the long run. Let's continue. Let me go over these ones first. I'll jump into the request one after. Okay, guys, appreciate it. Let's go to XLM. I still like XLM a lot. So what I see here, strong bullish impulse to the upside, flag continuation, breakout again, and then larger period consolidation, break up again, a larger correction here. So I still have a strong belief that this is going to be that bullish trend. It's just that price move up so massively, it just needs a longer period for a correction. And that's how the crypto moves. It moves in that. So there's going to be a correctional phase and then shoots up, correctional phrase, shoots up, and then correctional phrase. So same idea here. And we're just approaching this area. So it'll be nice to see price just breaks above and then continue to the upside. I think that's will be very, very good to see. Very clean price action. Again, school formation. Price has been so much higher before. So looking for that would be very ideal in the long run. Right? Most of these crypto I'm looking to hold, right? To hold for longer term because I like where they are. I like all these bullish price action. I think it's very clean for continuation. Okay. Any question, guys? Let me go through some of what you guys are saying. Uh, Ripple, not too interesting in Ripple, I'll be honest. I don't like how the price, obviously, we know this last bit of the price was looking much, much nicer when this kind of a triangle form. We had this impulse, correction, impulse, another correction, impulse to the upside. That was looking very clean and good, and then unfortunately we had all that SEC news, and that price started dropping. Personally, I want to see a little bit more development. All this to me is not good. You can argue that there's some buy on the lower time frame if you want to see that this is a push to the upside, and then there's a correction here. That's all I see, but I don't think that's enough for me because I just see a sharp sell, right? When you see a strong impulse to the upside, and then instead of continuation, instead of reversal correction, you just have a bearish impulse to the downside. That usually shows me that the bearish move is very, very strong. So is this going to be just a longer continuation correction? That's also a possibility as well. And that's why I don't want to get stuck in these lower time frame buys, right? Lower time frame, sure, but higher time frame, is it aligning with your higher time frame? To me, is not. So I'd rather stay out of these. Let's continue. How's Cardano? Yeah, I'm still in Cardano. I briefly talk about it, right? Enter at this buy opportunity here. I talk about this when it breaks that previous high. Looking clean. I think there's a lot of correction in there already, middle. This can just lead on to a longer correction, a deeper one, and then still continue, in my opinion. OG and BTC. Hey, Solomon, appreciate the coin. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're welcome. This is what I do. I don't mind, helping and offering these advice. That would be good. So this one here, let's see. I don't have too much data here, and really, I'm not seeing too much here. All I see here is all this move to the downside, and then so far it's just this bullish push up. But this to me is not even a correction. It looks a little bit off, and this strong bearish move is still there. So I'm not looking to buy this anytime soon. All right, so any other crypto guys before I jump into other things? I think these are the crypto ones that you guys are looking at. I got your question on gold. I'm not looking to buy yet. I'm not looking to buy gold yet, but I'm just giving you guys a clear kind of idea what I see that may happen. I still need to see this move continue down. I want to see this move continue to the downside, right? At least to this low here or the bottom of the structure to complete this structure. I want to see that to happen. Looking for a buy or looking for at least some sort of reversal first, push up, and then continuation, push up. There's a lot of buy opportunities in my opinion. But I want to see that because uh, overall higher time frame still screams bullish to me. So I'm not looking to deviate from that unless I see something break below this and then continuation to the downside, then that's going to change what I see on this. But so far, nothing yet. I'm not really interested in the sell, like I said. Look can be short-term sell to the lows, but I will see what happens here. It's hard to tell when the buy will be. It's just how the price gets there. Is it corrective? And then if there's bullish reversal price action, then I will see, right? But it's too early to tell at this point. Okay, so that is gold. Um, that's about it. Let's jump into a couple ones that you guys are saying. I'm just kind of scrolling up right now, see what you guys are saying. Dollar CAD. Yeah, I went over dollar CAD earlier. Still looking for a potential buy. I like how this is a descending kind of channel. We have a bullish price to the upside, and obviously looking for further upside potential. Right, we have been dropping pretty aggressively. So looking for a little bit bullish reversal is ideal after the price has been in decline for all this. It's like we're trying to look for this bullish impulse, right? After an impulse, correction impulse, this impulse becomes a descending channel, and then look for a potential buy from here to the top of the structure here. Right, the same idea, looking for a buy up to the structure here or something like that. See how the bullish move will happen. So that's dollar CAD. Moving on to, let's see. Let's go to indices. I think some of you guys are talking about some indices, so we'll go over a few indices. I don't think any of them are ready, to be honest. I don't see them much. I will. Um, yeah, I'll go over indices. I'll go over a few equities, a few stocks. So most of them not ready in my opinion. Remember all these potential sell didn't break out the structure or broke out the structure, no continuation and no trade. Ultimately, I still want to see what happened in this last bit of the price if it's going to form reversal to come down. It's the same as most of the indices. They're still contained within this correction. Okay, still contained in my opinion. So I'm not looking for anything. This can just lead on to a ascending channel, right? So making this double top of this correction and then see the sell off. It's the same as the other ones too, right? This can continue up a little bit longer, forms also a double top of the structure overall, and then strong bearish move to the downside. That's also very possible. So as long as they're still within this corrective, still in this correctional phase, I am still holding a bearish bias on most of these. Okay, so that's kind of what I see on indices. It's the same as a couple other ones. Aussie 200, same idea. This ascending channel still stands, in my opinion. Still looking for a potential reversal to the downside. Okay, so that should end there in US indices. ZRX USD, is that crypto? Yeah, pretty similar idea across. I didn't even look at this the first. This is the first time looking at this, but clearly this was the high, and then we have this scoop formation, and then price just impulse to the upside. So what does the lower time frame tell us? Well, it looks like we're going to form continuation. Right? This is continuation in the making. We can potentially see more upside potential once this move correct itself. Okay, so I like what I'm seeing here. I think most of the cryptos are looking great. You just have to pick some, right? You shouldn't trade all of them, in my opinion. This is why I'm only focused on a few ones that gives you the best kind of price action on higher time frame and lower time frame. Right, sticking to some, that's all you need. You don't need to stick to too many. I think that's the key here in trading is you don't need to stick to too many. But find a few one that's going to give you the best opportunities, best setups in my opinion, and look for those. Okay. Kelly, yeah, let's go through a few equities now. To me, Apple can be bearish. I don't really day trade stocks. I talk about this, but I keep an eye on the few ones that for long term and stuff like that. Apple to me, this is all-time high, right? It break all-time high, but this is rather corrective. Again, double top doesn't mean much unless the price gives you more bearish kind of price. So this to me can be in a kind of ascending channel, and this can be a head and shoulder developing. This right shoulder will be important to break out and then continue the downside. I don't really see the buy here in my opinion on Apple. This looks more bearish to me in my opinion. Okay, good. Pound dollar, we talk about pound dollar. I'm not really interested in pound dollar because consolidation, it's really not going anywhere. Talk about this. This is the prime reason why I don't like to trade when this consolidation happen. I don't want to get stuck in the consolidation phrase. I want to be impulsive. So I'm saving a capital. I don't need to get involved in this. A lot of you guys ask me about pound dollar. I'll kind of repeat again. So same thing. I'm not into pound Aussie either. I don't see much here. Um, double bottom is all I see, but all this kind of price action is not really interesting to me. I don't see really much in this area. I don't even see a sell or buy. It's kind of in the middle of this overall correction, so not interesting. So I want to touch on a few equities here. Someone asked about AMC. Yeah, I still want to talk about AMC. I'm still talking about AMC here though. I still like the overall push to the downside. This is still an impulse correction, impulse, and this is kind of a falling wedge pattern, and this is a strong breakout, right? Even though we pretty much retraced to the back, but the price action is there in my opinion, and this is on a higher time frame, right? So this is going to take months or a year to happen if it's going to. In my opinion, still though, this can still push the upside in time. It's just that whether it's going to do it, next week, next month, we don't know too much about it, right? So, talk about Amazon. I want to focus on Amazon as well. Was looking for a potential buy. I think it might be happening now, which is good. This is a higher time frame, kind of a pennant or triangle structure. So looking for the breakout, right? And we do have a little bit of breakout. Again, no continuation yet, no confirmation yet. So I'm looking for some sort of development here would be nice. Tesla, yeah, I think a lot of you guys asked me about Tesla, right? So there's really key buys here, in my opinion. So uh, good job on you guys that catch all of these. Point out these as well. So to me, this can be the third time opportunity. This is an impulse. This is a correction. This is another impulse. This is another correction, and this is another impulse. So whether or not this correction finishes, is it going to be bigger or smaller, whatever it is, look for this correction to finish, look for further upside. Okay, so that's what I see. I want to see typical structure like these, typical continuation structure is going to give you a lot more confluence for the buy. A few of you guys asked about. I went over NAS 100 again. I'm not too interested in the indices. Uh, I like how they're still within this correctional phrase. This can just move up correctively for a while. So I'm waiting for some sort of development here for looking for bearish move to the downside. Still hold a potential bearish move, just kind of see what will happen this last bit. Alternatively, someone asked about if it's going to go up. Well, if it's going to go up, I'm waiting for a strong bullish breakout. Right? That's going to confirm me that this is no longer valid. All this correctional period is no longer valid, and then still looking for downside. I mean, still it's just going to look for upside now. Sorry. If this ascending channel does not complete, if we see bullish breakout, bullish continuation, it voids this, or just potentially going on a bullish trend. Until I see that, I still hold a bearish kind of bias, bearish kind of potential on this. So any other question, guys? Pound Aussie weekly. To be honest, I'm not really into most of the pound pair, to be honest. So, I'm not sure what you meant by empty. If you're talking about this, I don't see it like that. I think it's still quite a bit ahead from the top. If this is what you're talking about, uh, I definitely do see the bearish move, though. Don't get me wrong, but this last bit of the price is where we are. It could be a continuation, it could be something, but I'm really not interested to trade this. It's the same idea why I'm not interested in the pound dollar. I'm just not into most of the pound pairs because of this current period. If we look at every other pound pairs, all this is just really corrective price action. It's really not going anywhere, and a lot of traders are trapped in this area, right? Originally, I was looking for this sell, and then once this couldn't break the lows and it forms into this, I'm no longer interested in all this. I think this is just similar like pound dollar that we have seen, and pound Swiss, right? Not showing us either, right? We're potentially looking for a sell and no continuation down and nothing, right? Price continue to go up, so no trade, and kind of reevaluate to see what price will do. Pound Kiwi, all this kind of consolidation price, even though higher time frame could be screaming bearish, but I don't really see much here. I don't even see like if this is a continuation, but this is not impulsive, right? This is rather corrective price action. I rather see a impulsive price action followed by a continuation, right? And this is why I'm staying away from most of these pound pairs. They're really not going much. If you see this last bit of the price for like last 2 months, they're really not going too much, right? Yeah, I don't want to get stuck again in the consolidation phase. Uh, you come out Nokia, right? Is- I'm seeing not much, but except that this can be like a descending channel. We had a huge push to the upside, and then this is just falling into a potential correction that we can reverse up, right? But higher time frame, so this is going to take a while. This is still a bullish push up though, so if this is a continuation, it will be nice to continue the price. Okay. XOM. Um, I'm not really interested because this last bit of the price. This is probably the first time I've seen this, but I this can be a double bottom, sure, but you have to understand how the price gets there. This is still a bearish impulse to the up downside. This can just be a corrective. We hit this previous top, and then price still continue downwards because this is still impulse correction and impulse down, right? So I'm not really interested in this buy. Even there is a double bottom, this is pretty much all I see, but I still see that this is still pretty much overall bearish. Bearish impulse correction, impulse potentially correction to go down. How much does news affect your trading? Not much. I don't really pay attention to news, I'll be honest. Because to me, news is not too relevant, at least to currency wise. Because overall price action is there. News creates volatility, it creates other moves, yeah, but it doesn't predict the market, right? So, hey, Mark McCarthy, sorry, I pronounced that right, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You've been sending me coins a lot of times. I really appreciate that, by the way. Thank you. Down 30, went over that. Not really interesting at the moment. because price is to me still corrective. This last bit of the price is very corrective, so I'm really not going anywhere. I'd rather wait for a completion of that. If I don't see that, no trade for me. Like I said, I still favor a bearish sell in this larger correctional period and then smaller correctional period within, but it's just not ready yet. It's not like confirmed yet, right? You see this push down and then we have reversal push up. If it continue up more correctively and then we have a push down and then continue, then certainly would be nice to get in. But if we don't see that, then I don't see much in the trade. I don't see much opportunity at this moment. Okay, so any other pairs you guys want me to take a look, guys? I'm happy to go over some. VOO. We talk about Vanguard. It's the same as S&P 500, right? So to me, it's just see what this last bit of the correction will do. I think this is still corrective. My bias again, it's the same as other indices. I'm still looking for a sell if we get a continuation, a reversal correction. I'm sorry, a reversal correction to reverse down from this ascending channel. Until I see that, I'm happy to be on the sideline, just waiting for more development here. I still favor a sell because what we have happened here, we had a correction and then instead of continuation, again, this is reversal. This does not look continuation. This looks like a period of consolidation, period of reversal building up for the sell. Like we see these structures over and over again. You're always going to see these ascending in nature and then pushing the price up, continue creating new highs, and then a strong bearish push down. Right? It's the same we see over and over again in the market. It doesn't matter where we are, right? We can see that as long as it has that ascending in nature, breaking this previous high, and then sell, continuation, sell. Right? So it's not going to be different. This is just whether or not they're going to be ready now, tomorrow, next week, next month, who knows, right? This can go on indefinitely for a while. But the longer, the deeper, and the more corrective it goes, the higher probability of that reversal. Okay, so don't just take my word for it. Do some back testing. You'll understand why, right? Because that's how the price build up the momentum, catching the traders on the wrong side, taking a lot of buys, and then bigger players sell, right? And that's kind of how they push the price down. So understanding that's how the market, you just have to capitalize on it. Okay, any question, guys? Happy to go through any other pairs that you guys are looking at. So just again, someone asked about the trades. Dollar yen, right? I'm in dollar yen. I talk about looking very clean. This is a breakout for this descending channel. We'll see how the price will form. Is this going to form a continuation here? I'd rather see a continuation of this structure here, and then we're just going to resume this bullish trend. It doesn't matter what happens here. I'm looking for the next continuation. And I mentioned that if we can break this previous high and then continue more with more bullish continuation, I will be looking for a scaling entry to the top. I think this is decent as well. Um, Cardano, I'm just looking to hold Cardano at least to probably like 0.7 or 0.80. I'll kind of go with a round number and I'll see what the price is doing. But ultimately, my management and exit will depends on how the price forms, right? If this is going to form some sort of head and shoulder, which I thought it was going to, then I'll be looking to take some profit. But if this is going to turn out into a continuation, then look to hold the trade, right? This is definitely looking very bullish now. We know that the price already impulse up, breaking that previous high, and then lower time frame continuation. So if you're in this trade, then obviously it's looking to hold because this is looking still very bullish to me. This Last bit of the price doesn't phase me once again, just forming deeper corrections, and we're still going to take off afterwards. And same approach as Bitcoin as well. I'm looking to hold it for long term, right? So all these previous swing low does not phase me, right? I don't mind, I'm not trying to exit the profit right away. I'm looking to hold it for long term purposes, right? Long term investments. So I'm fine with that. I've seen this move happen. Want to wait for price to break this previous high, form a continuation, look for scaling opportunity from the all-time high and continues. Right? Look for continuation. This is always key. Right? Price is always going to form continuation structures because that is how the price moves, right? I can't emphasize enough that you must understand the nature of the price. You can only be an impulsive phrase or you can only be a corrective phrase. There's only two phrases, right? You look at any market, any time frame, it doesn't matter. All you're going to see is impulsive phrase or a corrective phrase. Once you truly understand that, once you truly understand that is how any market, any time frame moves, it's just make your analysis much easier and simpler. You don't need all these extra indicators, other things. You really don't need all that, right? All you really need to know is the price in a impulsive phrase or is it in a corrective phrase? Is it in an impulsive phrase, corrective phrase? Impulsive phrase, corrective phrase. Impulsive phrase, corrective phrase. That is all you're gonna have to tell in order for you to understand what the price is telling you, and it's just going to make your every time when you do chart work a lot simpler and a lot less emotion involved because it's just simpler to point them out, right, without all these other things going on your chart that may or may not help you, right? I'm not here to say they don't work. I'm just simply saying that looking for the market the purest way is going to help you uh, uh, you know to understand trading a lot better, a lot simpler. Okay, so I'll go US dollar. Not interested in this. I don't like how this kind of have, even though this breaks this previous high, which is same thing as a scoop formation. I don't see much on this lower time frame. It's moving up, which is good, but all I see is these smaller kind of corrections. I want to expect a larger correction once we break this high, right? This is better for the price to do. Um, except the fact that because I don't have too much data previously, I don't know what happened before, but this is all-time another high as well, right? So you gotta be careful. We just break this high, which is great, but are we breaking this previous high? Are we confirmed yet on here? Not yet, in my opinion. This can go on like this and then start reversing. So wait for something to develop here would be more ideal. I'm not interested in pound dollar. I know some of you guys who watch me this already understand I'm not interested in pound dollar. Again, I'll explain why I'm not interested in pound dollar. And this goes back with a lot of you guys, at least the one messaging me that take a loss here on pound dollar, or in fact, any of these sales in this area, because you guys have to understand this is just a corrective phrase. So once the market start going something like this, you understand that that is what the price is doing. This is just going to be a longer period of consolidation. So why try to call where the next sell may happen, right? Because you clearly they're clearly not dropping any more than that. And I don't want to get trapped again in the consolidation phrase where the trade is not likely to take off and you're going to trap as the price gets swinging. You're going to get more emotional. You're going to see profit comes, profit go, profit come, profit go, profit come, profit go. You get yourself in a really bad negative emotion. Stay out of this consolidation phase. Wait for that first drop. Wait for a continuation and get in. It's fine missing, 100 pip, 200 pips here. So what, right? You have all this price to get in. Why try to call the top here where you're gonna get stop loss sole reason? Take out 2 or 3 losses. You get mad at yourself. You stop watching pound dollar, and then the moment you turn back, it's like forming continuation to drop down, and you're like, you miss all this because you're trying to call a top from here. Okay, there's no point trying to jump in here, in my opinion. Wait for that first breakout, wait for continuation. This is going to save you so much money trapping yourself in this point, right? I personally experienced this in the beginning of my trading career, and this is why I avoid them. There's no need to call the top, there's no need to guess which drop will go. Just wait for let the price come to you. It's going to be so much simpler, right? It's so much safer as well. Okay. So that's pound dollar, okay? It's just my personal opinion on this. US oil, sure. Well, US oil keep moving up. This was a correction here. I think somebody asked me about correction here. I certainly agree when I mentioned if you're looking at lower time frames, certainly that is a correction. That is a pretty much textbook flag and a correction, right? But I wasn't interested because I was looking at this as a potential top. I want to see what price will do, but it looks like it just continue upwards. So if you look at this as this, is that this is a strong impulse correction impulse. Where is the next larger correction, which is what I want to see because we're approaching this top now. We're not likely to just continue past this top without a solid continuation, right? And expect something actually a reversal, in my opinion, when we reach this top. So what I want to see is if this is kind of just kind of bullish push up to the upside, I'm really not interested in these kind of long short-term buys. And once we hit the top here, I will be looking how the price gets there and potentially looking for a sell. I think the buy, if you miss the buy here, there's really no point buying here, right? This is going to move swinging a lot, at least few dollars or so. So you don't want to get trapped in that kind of sense. Okay. ATOS, I don't know what that is. Is that crypto? Oh, is this ATOS? This is like, I'm not really seeing too much from this. Wow, this has been much, much higher, huh? Well, this kind of reminds me of like, you know, I want to say like recent stuff on GameStop, things like that. This last bit of the price is just getting pushed to the low, right? So it's kind of getting squeezed if you think about it. This last bit of the price is somewhat getting squeezed, right? So I want to see what will happen in this last bit of area. This clearly looks like a descending structure of correctional period. We might just see that reversal, right? But we don't know how long and how deep this period will go. So it's best to wait for a little bit more development and wait for confirmation, in my opinion. Uh, thanks, Jojo, about hold levels for Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll go over Bitcoin once more. What I see on Bitcoin, what I will you hold? Well, this is what I my plan to do, right? I mentioned about if you're not in Bitcoin, you're looking to get into Bitcoin. My approach would be this. I want the price to break this previous high, right? You want to see price break this previous high. I think what's going to be the key here. This all-time high is important. Um, looking for a bullish breakout to the upside and then followed by a continuation. So this continuation will be very ideal. I will even try to scale into this buy if that forms. Okay, so to answer your question, if you can hold for longer term once again when just coming, yeah, I mean because this is a higher time frame correction. We've been in this higher time frame correction since pretty much for like um pretty much a month, right? We have been in this January period of month, this whole month of consolidation. We finally pushed to the upside, and then there's more lower time frame continuation. But ultimately, is breaking all-time high. This is why price action is important. Is we need to see price break all-time high and then form some sort of continuation that's going to confirm that this bullish move to the upside is likely to resume after this larger correction, and we're just going to take off afterwards. This makes all the previous bullish trend all valid now, right? This we have been moving up all this price action, so it's likely to form a continuation and then continue higher. All right. Yeah, Ethereum, went over that as well. Ethereum is looking good. We go over that we broke the all-time high, right? We talk about this all-time high that price broke. So remember when we see these big scoop formation, we broke all-time high, which is great, and looking for continuation now, right? So if we zoom out a little bit, we break the all-time high, and then what we want to see is a continuation, right? This was a smaller continuation, but looks like we could just fall into a deeper correction, which is fine, right? Either way, you want to wait for some sort of solid continuation before it take off. If it forms some sort of structure, very, very likely that we're just going to get the next bullish impulse. So expect that from the price, wait for a solid correction, and then look for a buy. I think that's very clear. So as long as there is a bullish continuation, look for a buy. If it end up becoming a loss, then so be it, because from the price itself, this is clearly a break above the high. If we get continuation, we just likely to see price to resume itself. Okay. Best time, like I said, wait for a continuation, right? We don't know when the structure can be finished, right? This can be a structure here if that's going to be one, or we can form a deeper correction, something like this, and then still take off afterwards. Gold. I went over gold, right? I'm not looking to buy or sell gold at the moment, but my bias is always going to be a long-term buy. If we see this to continue downwards, which I wanted to see, and look for a bullish breakout to the upside. That is uh my preferred setup or my plan, so to speak. That's kind of what I want to see. So short-term wise, look for more downside, and then I will be looking for bullish reversal because higher time frame still screams bullish to me, and I want to get in on the next bullish impulsive phrase. So that's gold. Well, silver, at least to me, I want to see likely for the price to move down once more, because this push to upside followed by a reversal impulse doesn't show me that this structure is finished yet, right? This can just form a continuation here. We push to the downside and then reverse back up. Same thing as what gold is likely to do, right? We push to the downside and reverse up. So silver, same idea. Because on a higher time frame, I still have a strong bias for that buy, right? I went over this a post I did a week ago. I forgot, but this overall big scoop formation, we have all this bullish price action as well. This can be a bullish continuation. We're just going to go on to the next bullish trend. Okay, so that's what I see. So a higher time frame wise, that's what I see. So yeah. So any other pair, guys? Any other questions? I've been talking about an hour and a half. I think we went over all the pairs, all the currency, at least the one that looks great. I talk about the dollar pairs. I talk about what I want to see on the dollars, and look for, like I said, a bigger correction, a bigger consolidation. It's always going to be nice. Euro dollar is definitely one I'm looking for that downside potential, and dollar yen certainly looking can be a continuation as well. And Kiwi Cat, I talk about Kiwi Cat as well. I want to see this head and shoulder completes. So as long as the price is still in this right shoulder, I will be looking for a potential bearish move to the downside. Other than that, not too much other dollar pairs. Other pairs on currency. Dollar CAD is okay. I want to look for bullish breakout. Dollar Swiss also looks good as well. I want to see continuation here. So Euro dollar, dollar CAD, dollar yen is good, and Kiwi CAD is good as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go over what am I looking at this week pretty much right now. So these are currency ones, commodity ones. I mentioned gold and silver. Gold and silver looking short-term bearish, but I'm not interested in the sell because I'm looking for the higher time frame buy. And crypto, pretty much most crypto is looking good, right? So Cardano is one. If they form continuation here, look for buy, right? Cardano is looking clean. We talked about this from the beginning. Talk about Bitcoin as well, looking for continuation buy. Ethereum as well, looking for continuation buy, right? Most of them are going to shape up probably around the same time. LTC, so Litecoin also as well, looking for a buy here, and Stellar as well. SPX USD. Yeah, I went over this already, right? I don't know why I couldn't know SPX USD is this. Um, I went over this last earlier as well. As long as price is still in this ascending channel, um, even this price can form more corrective, then I'm still looking for a bearish bias. I'm still looking for a potential sell. As long as price is still within this correctional structure, it's the same as the all other US indices I'm seeing, okay? Doesn't change, still in this corrective phase. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Any other question, guys, for me? Those guys who are new, if you guys like what my interest, if you guys like these analysis, this is what I do. I do this regularly. I try to do 3 streams a week, guys. So I try to do one in. I'm changing my stream time a little bit, but I'm trying to do. I always do one each session. So today, I do it in the London session. Next one, I'll do it in the New York session, and then the one after, I'll do it in the Asian sessions. So I try to do one on each. So hey, no problem. Good. Thanks for your time. Yeah, that's just what I do. I like doing these for everyone. So, like I said, I try to do 3 times a week. So 3 streams a week. I'll do a weekly outlook and 2 daily outlook market updates. So you're always gonna get the most updated one from me. I post all my links in Telegram. So join my free Telegram. This is where I post all my Telegram. So search for Ares Trading. This is where I post my analysis, my links to all my streams, my sessions, all my educational videos on here. If you're interested, you can find out all about them here. I do them. I post all my videos on YouTube, right? So all my YouTube, go on my Ares Trading channel. Everything is in playlist, right? So I do all my price action analysis. So everything you learn about price action, you can learn from here. Everything about trading psychology, risk management, all my trade recap videos is going to be in here. Okay, guys. So watch that if you're interested. This is where I update everything, right? So as well on my trading view if you're interested to that. So how big the correction you think dollar CAD will form before the buy? Remember we talked about we were not going to be too sure, but at minimum you should see at least 2 swing highs and 2 swing low, which is likely to be a completion of the structure. So in my opinion, this is likely to go. I still have strong bias to see that this is going to be that impulsive phase in the market. So I still have very good doubt. I mean, very good bias that this is going to continue. This again, this doesn't phase me, right? This is like dollar news from NFP or whatever. But see what price does is we have this push to the downside, sure, and then it just couldn't break this low, and now we're forming continuation. Looks like we're going to resume the bullish trend. So that's what I see at dollar yen. So make sure when you enter a trade, you have to have a management in place what's your management, make sure you write that down so you don't deviate from it, right, based on your emotion. And when price doesn't matter the outcome of the trade. Remember, you cannot control the outcome, but you can control your management, the way how you exit, and things like that. That's something you can control. You can't you can't control the outcome whether dollar yen takes off or dollar yen start reversing. That is something you cannot control. So try to control and try to work on things that you can control. Okay, that will make trading a lot easier, a lot simpler as well. Okay, so that is what I see on dollar yen. I personally do still see a lot of potential on this. I can even see this all the way reach to the top as well, if not break out of this higher time frame structure and then just go into the next bullish trend, right? So this is strong bullish impulse. We have a decline, but we jump into this larger correction again. So this is still impulse. This is still a larger correctional period, and we can still see the next impulse, right? So I definitely have this big higher time frame bias behind me, which is great. So it's all about lower time frame continuation, lower time frame confirmation. If they do exist, then yeah, look for that continuation to the upside. Okay, so yeah, that is about it, guys. So any other question, guys, before I end the stream? I've been talking about an hour and a half. Went through most of the pairs, most of the currency pairs, most of the crypto pair as well. So if you have any question, you can ask me in Telegram and things like that. I have a group interaction, so you can ask questions in there. Other guys are in there, other guys and girls are in there who can answer questions as well. So all right, everyone. So thank you very much, guys. Feel free to contact me or private message me for anything, any questions, and I'll see you guys next time. All right. Thank you very much.